Hi everyone, it's Kyle with BitConnectLoan.com. Today I wanted to talk about how you can compound your earnings and still make a healthy profit and avoid days like today in the cryptocurrency market. So right now we're looking at the live trading for Bitcoin, and it has had a pretty healthy pullback, or some would say not so healthy pullback, considering we had a doji top here a couple days ago with like a lot of selling volume coming in that day after a huge spike, and then a couple down days now. So it's moving back into its moving averages, which is still a healthy sign, and that's why I mentioned that earlier, just a couple seconds ago. So a lot of people would think to go long here. However, I am hesitant to do so. Just because we get a rejection or a double top here. So it looks like this one came up, it tested those highs, it broke through, but then quickly sold off. So a lot of people are still, thinking that maybe it needs to come back down a little bit more. So I would expect maybe a pullback down into this moving average potentially. But if you look at a smaller chart, some people are trying to bounce it off that moving average right there. So if we go here, you can see, oh, okay, we got some buying coming in. You can see that the buying volume is a little bit higher here. And then if you take your timeline down, you can see like, oh, we had some sideways consolidation on this dip. We had a nice curl showing that a bottom was in, and then some people started going long. Now they're coming up into some moving averages, which could get rejected. So that's where you may want to take profit had you gone long somewhere in here on that dip. Granted, that's if you're just trading it, not holding on to it. And you can see that some people started getting spooked on this rejection of this moving average here, but it looks like it held and starting to move sideways. So if it continues up over 69.50 here, you could probably go long. However, you're going to have to contend with these guys here. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you look at the daily again, see that these are pretty big swings, right? So if you're thinking of going along up in here and you end up getting sold on, you may get spooked and start selling and sell for a loss. These markets are super volatile, especially with Bitcoin. Litecoin is a little bit not so volatile in the sense that it doesn't make these huge swings so drastically, and the range is relatively tight. You can see it's within this time frame in all of October, it's about $48 to about 68, 70, right? So that's not that much price movement, but if you're taking size, it is. And of course, Bitcoin is a much larger range, right? Almost $5,000 on the past 2 months. Huge. So, I alluded to, how you could still profit in the crypto markets and avoid the volatility that's associated with the trading. And what I'm talking about is BitConnect. And if you're not familiar with this, there's a video on BitConnectLoan.com right there up front. Just go to that real quick. And it's going to talk to you about the lending program here. And I got some other articles, because if you do your research, it'll eventually lead to you to like it's considered a Ponzi scheme, and some people are taking that view on it, while others are actively participating in the program, right? So in any case, it's a way to potentially profit, and there's obviously risk associated to investing. And whatever your stance is, Ponzi or not, you should treat it as such, as if it is just a risk associated investment. So let's go back to BitConnect. We can select our cars, sign in. Okay, so this is the platform here. And I made a deposit on 11/4, and that original loan amount or that deposit amount was 460. And the way it works is that you purchase Bitcoin in a platform like GDAX, because you can submit limit orders here and you get filled on the limit. So you pay what you want to pay, and you're not buying like at a market value just to get filled. And then you're gonna come over to BitConnect, and you're gonna essentially transfer your Bitcoin here. There's 0 in this account right now. You're gonna transfer your Bitcoin over to BitConnect. It'll show up here in this Bitcoin wallet. You exchange Bitcoin for their BitConnect token, and then you're going to deposit. Actually, sorry, you're going to lend your BitConnect token at a dollar amount, right? So you're not losing any money. So whatever let's say what I did, for example, I purchased like roughly $470 worth of Bitcoin. I immediately transferred it to BitConnect. It showed up here. I used that money to buy as much BitConnect tokens as I could. And when it came over here, I had a total here of like, I can't remember how many, but whatever it was worth roughly $470. And then because you can only invest in $10 increments with a minimum of 100, I think it was like just under 470, so there was some leftovers, and that's what you see here. This is like the leftover amount. So I made a loan for $460, and that's what it is today. The price has not changed on me because I'm not buying and holding any currency. What I'm doing is lending money to BitConnect so that they can trade with it, and they're going to pay me an interest rate on that loan of roughly 1% per day. Now we can click this and you can see the payouts. So we had almost a 1%. We did have a down day, so they didn't get paid this day, and that happens on occasion. But then the next day certainly made up for it because it was pretty high. And then we get kind of an average amount here, and then a nice couple bigger days over 1%. So the past 7 days are pretty nice. They're just over 1%, and that's really great. You can check your 6 month. That's almost 1% there. And then your 30 days here. So this, I don't think this 1.34 has been calculated into this quite yet because it's still pending. So we might get a little bump here to get it up over this amount. But in any case, we're making money on our loan of that amount, and that's great. And so when you scroll down here, this was the original loan amount of 460, right? Then I've earned on that $460 the $26 here, just a matter of days. And that's not that exciting, I know, but what is exciting is that you're able to reinvest that and compound your interest. So that's actually what I'm going to do right now, because I have a balance of $16 in cash. I want to reinvest this. I'm going to click all. And like I said, it was in $10 increments. The $100 caveat is only on your first deposit. So you're allowed to reinvest at a minimum of 10, but your first deposit has to be over 100. And we're going to click reinvest. And you can read the terms here, but because it's a loan, you need to agree that they're going to hold on to your capital for 299 days. And another thing to keep in mind is that every reinvestment is a new loan. So the $460 that I first deposited will be released 299 days from that day, and then this $10 that I reinvest into the total amount will be released 299 days from today. So it is essentially coming out later than that of that first loan, but it's still adding to the total active investment, which allows me to earn a much greater sum of money on because the amount I'm getting paid 1% interest on is higher. And I'm going to show you in just a second a spreadsheet that we have that is going to show you how that compounding really adds up over a shorter amount of time, or you can set your own personal goals and your own time frame to make like your daily goal, and then just start putting some cash in the bank after that. So let's go ahead and confirm this. Success, great. And that should show up down here. Maybe we'll just refresh the page. Okay, great. So now my total investment is 470. My total active investment is 470. And obviously no capital has been released yet, the loan amounts, because I agreed to let them hold on to that for the 299 days. And I'm earning now 1% on 470, not 460. So that is a good thing for me, because I want to build this active investment up to a high enough number actually, where I'm getting paid every day into this lending wallet here, or this cash wallet, what it really is, amount of money that I have a goal for. And let's just look at that. Let's look at the spreadsheet. So here is this spreadsheet here, and I can provide this to you if you choose to sign up with me, and I can just kind of coach you along the way. And that's kind of like why I'm doing these videos, is to educate you. But let's say you started with $100, because that was the minimum, and then as we're earning that 1% interest rate, we're gonna be able to reinvest at day 11. And we reinvest, and now it's 110 that we're earning 1% on, and then we'll be able to reinvest at day 20. And as we move down the list here, or as the days go by, the $10 reinvestment opportunities are getting closer together, because we're earning a greater sum of money as our total active investment, and we're earning 1% on that total active investment. So we're compounding our interest, and we're avoiding the volatility of the currencies that are being traded. So this dollar amount is not fluctuating. We still have the $580 on day 182, and so that's still there, right? Granted, we can't withdraw that money yet, but we're earning interest because we're lending that money to BitConnect. At this point, 299 days, we'll be able to withdraw the original $100, right? So on day 309 was that, or one of the, it is, I believe, 309, because you were reinvested $10. You'll be able to withdraw $10 on this day, because that was your first reinvestment, right? So you can see that those release dates will start waving back in at those times, and you can choose to reinvest when it gets released to you, or withdraw it as cash. And as we move down the list, that first $100 now results in a total active investment of about $3,500 at a 1% daily interest rate, and it's earning us $35.50 per day, which equals almost $13,000 a year. That is not that much money, but as a residual income, that's pretty good, right? Like, you can just bank an extra $13,000 per year and just let that ride for as long as you like, and really out of pocket, you're only $100 into this thing. If you would like to continue to reinvest and you want to get this daily number up much higher, then you choose to do so. You just keep reinvesting until you hit a daily goal that you find suitable. Now, at a year and a half, we have a total active investment of $21,730. We're earning now over $200 a year, and we're making close to $80,000. So that's definitely now a full-time job earnings. You know, I wouldn't recommend quitting your job, but I would say if you could bank $210 every day for as long as possible, and as long as this program is up and running, then why wouldn't you? You're only $100 out of pocket in any case, right? Like if this program goes under, or cryptocurrencies stop trading one day, which I don't think they are. I think that Bitcoin has proven that for the past decade that they're not going anywhere. In fact, we're in a huge bull market rally right now. And granted, yeah, there will be a bear market eventually in cryptos, but you still have $21,000 in there that would eventually be released to you, and you would be able to transfer that money out via purchasing a crypto and then exchanging that crypto back into cash. So, but this is cash readily available to you. You would be able to withdraw this every day on that day, and you just have to convert to those currencies and then get it back into your cash wallet in something like Coinbase or GDAX, and be able to transfer back into your bank account or your checking account. So that's a year and a half. Let's look at 2 years. This is freaking awesome. $100 is almost $135,000, and it's making us about $1,400 a day at an average interest rate of 1%. And that obviously is way better than any full-time job I've ever had. An extra $500,000 a year sounds pretty sweet to me, and that's why I am so adamant about sharing this with you and trying to get people excited about it, is because this is like the opportunity of our lifetime. Like, these cryptocurrencies have created multimillionaires, and if you're sitting on the sidelines thinking that it's going to be a bubble, then that's your choice to do so. Meanwhile, my argument to you is, if you have $100 to risk and you just want to see what happens, well, why wouldn't you do that? Because of this program and these numbers. I mean, this sheet right here is proving it to you, and you can see it working right here. And this is it. I wanted to cut my time down, and so what I did was I started with a little bit more money. I started with $460, and I'm planning on putting in an additional $300 when those funds clear into Coinbase. I chose to deposit with checking, so it takes a little bit longer time to move money around that way, but it will eventually get there. So you can see that my initial investment of basically $760 is what I want to risk, and I would like, in my daily goal, my personal daily goal is 500. So I want to, at day, roughly 428 here, 430, this is a point where I will not be reinvesting anymore, and I will continue just to, at this point, put this cash in my bank account until I have a healthy sum in there, and definitely get the return from the original 760 and beyond. I want to get a nice healthy profit daily, and then if I continue to see that it's working and I have some nice cushion, then maybe at that point I'll continue to reinvest, and we'll go down the list here, because you can see as it compounds, it's really, really cool to see. At a year and a half here, that's a pretty sweet number right there. Almost $640,000 a year is what you would be making off this program. And if it sounds too good to be true, and you think that maybe this is potentially a Ponzi scheme, because I've heard that a lot, nobody really knows if it is or if it's not. All you can say is that you see the money coming in and you're like, okay, this is cool, this is working. And if your argument is that it's a Ponzi scheme, then there's no saying that a Ponzi scheme can't still make you money. And I honestly don't know if it is or not. I can't answer that. I didn't create the program, so I don't know who's behind it and what their character is like. But that doesn't concern me because of the small amount of money that I'm willing to risk to potentially make much more. So the risk reward to me far outweighs what it is. I don't want to overcomplicate it and overthink it. That would result in me probably sitting on the sideline, and then a year from now wondering, wow, or I should have done that, and then I could have been making this amount of money by then, and then it would be maybe not necessarily too late to enter, but I would be a year behind my goal. So that's why I've kind of just chosen to get started, and then just see where it takes me. So if you have any questions, you can email me at kyle@bitconnectloan.com. I will be attaching this video to, a Skype call. I will be attaching this video to YouTube, my website, and I will be trying to share it with whoever is interested. So yes, bitconnectloan.com. If you want to learn more, we have other content on the site. Let's see, where are we at? Yeah, see, now it's coming down below the moving average here. I could expect a pullback down to here, and then potentially this last pivot point of 62.37. And let's see, yeah, there's a lot of selling. See, it rejected the moving average here on the hourly chart or on the 60-minute chart. So yeah, let's just let it work itself out, over the next couple of days, see where it goes. But I wouldn't be going long here. It's called catching a falling knife. If you've ever done any trading before, it's best to just sit back, let it work itself out. You want to see this sideways movement, like these little candles here, and then these big candles here are really exciting. That's when you start to sell your initial long position into strength, and then you just kind of wait for more sideways movement, let it work itself out, because the smaller they are over a longer period of time, it's building up strength, it's building up steam essentially to really just explode. And then now it looks like that steam has kind of run off, and people are just going to start taking profit because potentially they were long way back here, right? And now they've made a healthy profit, and then they're just going to come down. So we just got to let it retrace to roughly 61% or 50% if you're into the Fibonacci. Unfortunately, GDAX doesn't have Fibonacci tool that I could use. And I'm trying to find some better charting software for cryptos. But in any case, you can kind of just do the math yourself. So think about it, like if it goes from here, if this is your first pivot, 3,000 up to almost 8,000, then you would just chop that in half, right? So right around here potentially is where it could settle, maybe right there around 5,000. So we'll see. And nobody knows because things are really volatile. So you just kind of got to let it make its movements and get in and get out if you're trading it. And if you're not trading it, then I encourage you to come onto the site, take a look at what we got to say. Do your research, and then if you're ready to do what I would say is much less risky investment, but still uberly profitable, you just let your money compound over time, then I would encourage you to look at BitConnect's lending program. And Let me know if I can help in any way. Thanks, guys. Hope you have a good day.